What is up, everybody? Meriden Gaming here, and we're back for another World of Tanks Tech Tree Tank Showcase and Review. Today we're taking a look at the Tier 7 German heavy tank, the Tiger P. As you can see here, it looks very similar to the Tiger 1. It's just a slight difference of the main thing. Right here, this band of armor, it's got a little bit more in the front than the Tiger 1 does. With the Tiger 1 has about 100, this has 200. So you can take a few more shots and block shots against same tier and lower tier than you will with the Tiger, where you have to stay completely hull down. So you can risk it, especially if we angle ourselves a little bit. See here, we got some angles where this can be blocked, especially if you hide your lower plate, and you can get shots where you can, even though I wouldn't suggest doing this against higher tier, it is an option in order to get them to try to shoot these areas here. But otherwise, yeah, you're kind of paper. Of course, this is with APCR rounds. If you have around 200, it makes it even more of an option. You can try to side scrape, but of course you have this problem here of this area, which on the tank is kind of flat. And then yeah, your turret is also pretty paper, except for these two ricochet angles, and then your cupola is huge. Anyway, let's go ahead and get over to the comparison. So we're going to compare it to the Tiger 1, the T29, the IS, and the AMX M445. Now, I play on the North American server. These are the ones I see the most. So yeah, that's what we're going to compare it to. Alright, so DPM, kind of right in the middle. More than the T29, but less than the Tiger 1 and the IS. But your penetration, of course, these two use the same gun. Your penetration is one of the top here. The AMX, because of it having a slightly better gun, getting a little bit more penetration with its standard rounds. Now with your gold rounds, you get quite a bit more. You get 237, which is decent, but you're not going to be going through tier 9s very easily. You have to pick your location well when you're facing up to 2 tiers higher. Your damage, a little bit lower than most of the other ones here. I mean, the IS and the 29 having over 300, where you still are at 240. Of course, you are better than like Black Prince and stuff like that from the British line. But yeah, not great. Your reload time, though, although does make up for that, so you can get off a couple of rounds into these two before they can shoot again. So you have to make use of your reload time, knowing when they fired, running out, hitting them once or twice, as long as you're in a one-on-one situation, and then taking cover before, as basically backing up as you're releasing that second round, so that you can get 2 shots for 1 shot. That's how you got to play this thing. Very similar to this one here, the AMX, which is the one I'm grinding right now, actually. And then we have our caliber of 88. Both these have the 88. So you can overmatch. It's just under 30. It's like 28.5 or something like that millimeters of armor. Shell velocity of 1,000 with your standard and 1250 with your gold. So that's actually fairly fast for a heavy tank. As you can see, these other ones are quite a bit slower. Actually, now that I think about this, this is probably a derp gun. Derp E gun, we'll say. Both of these are fairly similar. So, yeah. Actually, that's the one I use on anyway. And potential damage, you are kind of towards the lower end, other than the IS with that really low ammo count. You have plenty of ammo space to be able to take all 3 types of rounds, depending on what you're facing. And if you have unlocked the second loadout for it, loading one for when you're taking on tier 9s and taking more gold, or HE for that matter, chip damage, it's a thing. Aim time is actually pretty bad compared to a lot of the other ones, except for the IS with that derp gun. I always want to try to get it down to 2 seconds or less, but the fact that you fire quickly, you can still, at close quarters, this isn't that bad. You can make it work. And with a .33, also pretty good compared to everyone else. We can get this down a couple more points if we wanted to, although we may not want to. Gun depression. So this is where the Tiger has a little bit more of an advantage over the Tiger P. The fact that you have 1 less gun depression, but you do have a little bit better gun elevation. But yeah, you'll definitely notice. I know it seems like 1 degree. That's not going to be that much. You can feel it, trust me. This can kind of play over the tops of hills. This one definitely can't. Although the fact that you have better armor means you can peek more and possibly bounce shots that the Tiger one is not going to. Forward speed of 35, yeah, pretty slow compared to other stuff like the Tiger here, but on par with the other three. A reverse speed also kind of pretty close across the board, other than the IS. Then we get down to that armor. Yeah, this is where this thing shines. People trying to shoot your hull, because that's what people tend to do against Tigers when they see them, because you got that really flat plate directly under your turret. Well, more of those shots are going to bounce than you would playing any of the other Tigers right now, or at least the ones we reviewed so far. In fact, it's the best hull armor out of all of these, but your turret, other than the 2 ricochet spots, yeah, not that strong compared to something like the T-29. If you run into one of these guys hull down that knows what he's doing, you're not going to be able to go through this at all. You gotta be very careful. You gotta flank them, or hopefully have someone else on your team that can and go through that armor. Alright, then we get down to our camo. Yeah, you're heavy tank. You don't have camo. What are you talking about? But you do also have a decent view range compared to the others. We can definitely get this up a few more points in order to help spot at the end of the game. But anyway, let's go ahead and get over to the gameplay. We're going to be watching, apparently, JP Doc and their Tiger P on, I can never remember the name of this place, Pearl River, because I have this one blocked. Alright, here we go. Got Tiger 1 on this side and the AMX M445 on the other, and a T-29. Actually, it is the Churchill 7, isn't it? This Rise Tier 6. So yeah, all the tanks from the comparison other than the IS, but the IS is on the other team, so that works out. It's going to be interesting because on the other team there is a platoon of T-29s. Those tend to be a pain because typically the platoons know what they're doing with one of those. Or at least one of them does. Alright, going to the standard heavy tank location, looks like here. Not a bad choice. Probably going to go to the right or down here in the center. That left side, you need a little bit more gun depression. If the M4 is coming with him. Now the M4 has some trollish armor. Oh, and there's one of those T-29s. But thankfully that T-29 looks like he's pushed up a little bit too far and he can probably get some shots into him. Oh, there's the other T-29. I'm not sure what he's doing here. He's being super aggressive. Yeah, look at that. See, they have no hull armor, where he's got a little bit more hull armor, but they're going to go through his turret. But he's playing on the fact that he can out-trade 2-for-1 shots. He's got that AMX M4 locking down the other one. Oh, nope, here he comes. And one T-29 down. See, that's what you gotta do. He knows that he can trade. He was tracked there, trying to get into a position where he can bounce off his hull. Looks like someone else is going to push him out. He knew the T-29 had fired. Nope, T-29 has fired again. The AMX is there. Beta shot was not able to capitalize the second shot in. Huh. I think he ricocheted off the T-29 there. That was quite interesting. They knew that T-29 already shot, so yeah. That's where you gotta know. You gotta know your reload times. Know that you can get more than one shot. And see, now that that T-29 is dead, it's kind of blocking his hull a bit more. Knowing when to trade, trying to bait shots out. Oh, here comes something else. Ooh, a BZ-44. That was not in our comparison. Okay, the artillery took care of that. Try a block for the Leo here. Oh, see? Correct angling. Blocked that shot. Another shot, and... Okay, that should have one more shot for him. Oh, nice. Very nicely done. Now it's just time to go back and deal with the IS at this point. 3,800 damage already. With 3 kills. Not bad, not bad. Trading his health a little bit, but, you know, sometimes that's what you gotta do. Your health is a resource. So knowing when you can positively trade, where you give them more damage, preferably twice as much damage, but anytime you're doing at least one extra shot's worth of damage, like 200 at this tier. See, the IS was greedy, got the kill. Now can he just finish him off with another shot? Nicely done. And spoiler alert, I did check out the stats. That is going to be it for our friend here. He's not going to be able to get to those other tanks in time before the rest of his team kills them. So, yeah, not bad. 4,000 damage and 4 kills. We'll go ahead and take a look at the end game stats real quick. Alright, so like I said, 4,000 damage, 4 kills, 1,200 blocks. See, that's where that hull comes into play. Allows you to block a lot more shells than some of the other Tigers would. So, anyway, that's going to be it for today. If there's a specific tank you wish to see, just leave that in the comment of the most current video. And I will get to it. I usually record about 3 of these at a time, so it would probably be the 4th one. But if you catch me on the last video, which I always release on Fridays, it could be the next one, as long as I have time to record it. Anyway, this is Meriden Gaming, and I'll see you on the battlefield.